Hello everyone, it's Professor095 back with another deck profile again. So this time around, I will today be showcasing you the deck profile of my D Standard deck profile, which is Bavsargra. I think this is probably my first D deck profile ever. So this time around, usually I have like V deck profiles. So this time I'm going to bring you the first of the D deck profiles that I have, which is Bavsargra. Originally I'm gonna main Bruce, but Bruce, I haven't been updating my Bruce lately as of now. But I think Bavsargra, I have been updating it a lot quite recently. So yeah, other than that, it's just because Bavsargra supports cheaper than Bruce, so I might as well just like do it for now. It's not that Bruce is bad, I just think that I really didn't have enough to like support Bruce at the moment. But Bavsargra, I could manage it for now. So in that case, I'm just gonna have to showcase to you Bavsargra from the D series. So this is actually my side deck, it's not my main deck. Again, I've said that before Chronojet comes out, my main deck is Bruce, so Bavsargra is just my side deck. But even though it's a side deck, I think it's a really it's like a lot of fun to play with. Now to explain Bavsargra, who she is actually from Dragon Empire, as you can see. So in the D series, there will be no clans, they will just have to go by nation. So Bavsargra is from the Dragon Empire, and now her mechanics, special mechanics in this deck is revolving around arms, which I'm gonna show you what that is. So to start off this will be the right line of all of this four of them. How do I want to explain this deck as a whole? I think this deck is fun. It can hit for high numbers. It is very pressuring, as you can see how my build is gonna be. It has a lot of draw powers and super core engines, so I think it's this time around I build it to have it to be more consistent, as in like building fast track of getting arms on your already like on your first turn, and more defense, if you could say that. So yeah, so without further ado, I guess we'll go with the starter. Yeah, I think we should get into the deck profile for now, so I'm not gonna waste any more time. So the first starter is Sealed Blaze Dragon Ahimsa. So Ahimsa skill is that when this unit is being ridden upon, if you went second, you draw one. So standard D starters, all of them will have the same skill. I just brought the promo version. As you can see Daybreak's logo over here, so that's quite nice. This is the only starter you must run in Bavsargra, because because you have to proc to get along with the Great One as well. So if you play Bavsargra, play this starter, nothing else, right? Because if you go to the Great One, which is Sealed Blaze Dragon Amonka, when this unit rides from Sealed Blaze Dragon Ahimsa from your Vanguard on your Vanguard circle, you Soul Blast 1 and you search your deck for up to one Pritevi, which is the sword, which I'm gonna get into, and Swayambhu, Sealed Blaze Shield Swayambhu, and search one of them and then reveal it and put it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So quite nice. So this will be the on-place Vanguard skill. The second skill is only a rearguard skill, which I didn't really play. I don't really utilize as much. Rearguard skill, when this unit attacks during this battle, this unit plus 2k. So yeah, standard grade 1 right line. So second, the grade 2 we'll be playing is Sealed Blaze Dragon Haribadara. Haribadara skill, when this unit rides from Namonka and plays on the Vanguard circle, you choose one arms from your drop zone and bounce it back to your hand. So what this actually ensures you is that you have you don't really waste your arms, and you're just gonna like bounce back the discard core. So usually if I were to have to discard arms, usually I would discard the shield, and then I'll write the grade 2, and then that shield is gonna bounce back to my hand. So this dragon is quite good as well for the effect. So the second skill is a rearguard circle. When this unit attacks, if your Vanguard has arms during this battle, this unit plus 5k. So it's a 15k attacker if you have arm. If your Vanguard is armed. So yeah, only one of these. I didn't play anything else, so I think that's enough at the moment. Alright, so the main Vanguard of this deck is Sealed Blaze Maiden, Bavsargra. So very nice. very nice skill for her, which is the auto ability once per turn. When your Vanguard is armed, soul charge 1, and you choose one grade 1 or less grade card from your drop zone and spirit call it. So this can call a lot of things. Treatment is the most important one, and there's like other lot of great ones that is like very useful for Bavsargra as well, which again I'm gonna have to get into. But like I said, this can superior call a lot of things, and you can discard like great ones, and then you can ensure that when you the Bavsargra, you can have the grade 0s or the grade 1s that you discarded, and then you bounce back, which is nice. So the second skill is a main phase once per turn on the Vanguard. If this unit's arm is 2 or more, you Soul Blast 2 and you choose all of your opponent's front row rear guards and retire them, and this unit gets 1 crit until the end of turn. So which is and which is like very nice. If like boosted by Trickmoon, she's probably at 48k along with that with the shield or the spear on the left on the, I think it's on the left arm. I think and this is on my left, isn't it? Yeah, on my left arm. Left DT arms, right? So this is Bavsargra as a whole, so she's already a crit enabler and also gets to superior call at that. So this is all the great right lines for now. Alright, so moving on to the main deck. Moving on to my main deck, I will be playing 3 of the Persona rights, self-explanatory, just right over since there's a Persona right icon, just right over her, and then during this turn Vanguard gets front row plus 10k, and then you draw 1 card, so it's quite nice as well. So play 3 of Bavsargra. Definitely play a lot of Persona rights. Now this is the mechanic of where we're gonna get into, which is the arms part. So this arms with which I'm gonna show you is about to see. This it links up together as well, something like, you know, Triple Legion, we joked about it. So you can see there's a lot of things. So you have the shield and the spear, and then you have the sword and the shield together. You might have if there's also one of card which is the gun, but I don't really play the gun. Chandra, I don't really play the gun in this deck, so this the arts kind of link up together, so it's quite nice as well. But other than that, yeah. So this is the mechanics of how you are supposed to play arms. It's an order card. I will have to explain that these arms are order cards, so you can only use them once per turn as well. So it's important for you to keep note of that. But other than that, I'm gonna get into to explain the arms. So the arms is the right DT arms. This is the right, not the left. Okay, so the right DT arms is you can only arm it on Bavsargra. All the arms for now only specifies on Sealed Blaze Maiden Bavsargra. Okay, the first skill is that in order for you to play this order, you have to counter +1 to play this order, and when this unit is armed, when you equipped Bavsargra with this one, you draw 1 card, and during this turn you may play another additional arm. So which means that when you arm this spear, you can play 1 more arm, provided if it's the same copy again, or you can get the shield, or you can get the sword. So yeah, you can actually, to ensure yourself to get 1 more. So if you like say that if you want to play, you arm this one and then you arm another one, you get to draw 2 cards already, which is quite nice. And so on the continuous Vanguard skill, during this turn, the armed unit gets 10k, so you give Bavsargra 10k, which is gonna be swing for 23k, which is nice. Play 4 off because this is the most staple arms in most Bavsargra decks, so you cannot miss it. Yeah. So the second arms that we'll be going for is the sword, Pritevi. Pritevi's skill is also more or less the same thing as the first arm part is the explanatory part is the same, but in order for you to play Pritevi, you have to Soul Blast 1 to equip it, and then during the at the end of the battle that this unit is equipped on Bavsargra, you have to counter at the end of the battle, if your opponent has 4 or less damage, you counter blast 2, put this unit to the drop zone, and you deal your opponent's Vanguard 1 damage. So it's quite nice. It's a damage dealer as well on the cost of counter blast 2, which is kind of like a little bit expensive, but not many people play it, so they just want to conserve the counter blast. So they play you. So I personally play 2. You will see some decks they will play 1, but I'll play 2 just in case. I need to get like any of these arms by the time I'm in grade 3, so I have to really fast track that. I have to really get to equip my Bavsargra with 2 arms already by the time I'm writing my first grade 3, so I'm playing 2 for now. Keep in mind that you from the starter skill and Namonka skill, from Namonka skill itself, you can only find this sword and the shield, which you're gonna get into, but you cannot find the spear. So just a reminder for everyone who's probably playing it wrong. Yeah, so play 2 of Pretty Heavy. I personally play 2 Pretty Heavy, so other than that, okay. And the next one will be the Sealed Blaze Shield Swayambu. So this one, it will be the left arm DT. These are the right arms. This is the left arm DTs. Okay, and in order for you to play this, you have to play you play this order with counter +1. So once per turn on Vanguard skill, when your Vanguard is attacked and this unit is armed to its attack, if this is equipped, you give your Vanguard plus 10k. So it's a very defensive. It's something like a free 10k shield, if long story short. So like your opponent swings you for like 18k, and then you can activate Swayambu once per turn, and then you give your Vanguard 10k, and the attack has been negated. Something like that. So yeah, only one of these. You don't need to play anything else than that. So usually what I do is that when I search for 1 arms, I have to search. The first priority is to look for the shield first, and not this, and not Pretty Heavy. So yeah, other than if this card is already in your hand on your first place, then probably play this one. Alright, so we are done with the grade 3s for now. We're going for the grade 2, which is Travis. Okay, I think that's twin bullets of Dust Storm, is it? I think so, Travis. Okay, Travis skill is very cool in Bavsargra decks, because already Bavsargra's skill emphasizes on like retiring front row rear guards. Travis helps me to retire back row rear guards that are quite annoying in a sense, and also gets a 10k. And so how does it work? So in the main phase, once per turn on rear guard circle, when you're on the turn that your opponent's Vanguard has been retired, counter +1, you soul charge 1, you choose one of your opponent's rear guard and retire, and use the unit plus 10k. So 20k beater, and you can get to retire another rear guard, in addition to Bavsargra already front row. So again, if you can retire like 3, if you have like 2 Travises on field, you can retire 4 already during this turn, which is quite nice. Especially if you're facing like a lot of decks that relies on like Spear Calling, I have a lot of rear guards like Bastion, for example. Very useful, I kind of like it. And it gets a 20k, and you get to soul charge, because Bavsargra needs a lot of soul as well, because you need to soul blast 2. Soul blast 2 for her effect. So Travis helps you to like field in the soul, and also gets to retire, field wipe, and power extra. Very good. I was thinking to kick out Travis, but no, Travis was so important and so staple in this deck. I think I cannot remove him in any way, shape or form, but he is very good, and I like to play 4 of him. I'll play 4 Travis. And so the next card I'll be playing is Sealed Blaze Dragon Alshinia. So Alshinia's skill is that when this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, you activate the abilities below depending on whatever arms is available. So if it's on the right arm DTs, then this unit gets 10k, so 20k beater on that turn. And if it's a left arm DT, you counter +1, you choose grade 1 or less card from your drop zone, unit card from your drop zone, and you Spear Call it. So which is nice. There's a lot of like call effects, like call targets for Alshinia as well. You can call Trickmoon, you can call Samadhi, you can call a lot of like other great ones that you're playing. But yeah, I play 3. Some people play 4, I just play 3 just because I need some room for something else, which I will get into. But yeah, I play 3. 3 is fine, personally. The last one I'll play is only 1 copy of Shabda. Some people will play 2. If you want to play 2, go ahead, but I think mostly people will play 2. I just only play 1 because of the very nice skill, which is the first skill is that on continuous rearguard, if your Vanguard's arms is 2 or more, this unit gets 5k, so it's a 15k beater. On the drop zone, the second skill activates on the drop zone, so you can see why it's when your unit is called from the drop zone, from your drop zone, if your Vanguard is Sealed Blaze Maiden by Bavsargra, counter blast 1 and call this card to the rearguard circle. So what this means is that if by any point that you call a rearguard from card effects like Bavsargra or Aoshinya, then Shabda can superior call itself to the rearguard as well, with the cost of counter blast 1. So on that turn you can probably call 2 rearguards already. But yeah, it's kind of a little bit heavy because like you have the counter blast 1 and I need to use that counter blast for like Travis, Aoshinya, and a lot of like the spear for example and the shield. So I want to keep my counter blasters, like I like to keep my counter blasters open for some games because I need to arm or I need to retire, so it's also need to retire. So it's kind of important. But for Shabda, I think it's like I think I'll play 2 is enough. I don't really want to play anything more than 3 or more than 2. I just play 1, but it's quite nice. So it's a frame rare, you can see, very nice. Alright, 1 Shabda is enough. So that concludes my grade 2 for now. Going to the grade 1s, which is only like the 3 PGs, and also one of the elemental PG as well. So let's get to the elemental PG. So elemental PG is the Sentinel, so you can only have like 4 of the Sentinels, 4 PGs. And you can only have 1 copy of it in this deck, so it's essentially a promo. Okay, so when your Vanguard, if your opponent's Vanguard has a triple drive originally, you may negate the cost, which is like if you discard a card for a cost for your perfect guard, usually you have to discard 1 card from your hand. This one doesn't, provided if your opponent's Vanguard has already have triple drive originally. Yeah, so you choose one of your Vanguard and at the end of the battle and cannot be hit until the end of the cannot be hit, and then after you play this card you have to like remove it. Same thing like over trigger, so it's quite the same. So one of the elemental PGs, and then you have Twin Buckler, I think. Twin Buckler Dragon is also a Sentinel. So when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, you choose one of your units and cannot be hit until the end of the battle. If you have 2 or more cards, you discard 1 card from your hand and you choose 1 card from your hand and discard it. So quite nice. So play 4 of the effect PGs is self-explanatory at that. Alright, so we are done with that. Now we're going to play 4 Sealed Blaze Dragon Samadhi. This one is in D-BT07, which is the newly released support for the in this set. So I play the frame rate. I play 4, okay. Now, but you can play 3 usually. I think I play 4 just to be safe, because I just need to pump again. The issue is that I need to pump the arms to my Vanguard by the time in grade 3, and if that doesn't happen, somebody can help me, which is the first skill. Let's go to the first skill first. Okay, so the first skill is that during this turn, if your Vanguard has 2 or more, this unit plus 5k, a 13k booster, a 13k attacker, so quite nice. The second skill is main phase, once per turn. So when your Vanguard, if your Vanguard has an arms, you retire this unit and you choose 1 card, you arms card from your hand or your drop zone, and you equip it. And if you did arm, you cannot play any other arms during the rest of the turn. Yeah. So long story short, so if I have if I don't have the shield, if spear for example, but I have the sword in my hand and I have the shield on my hand as well, I can equip with counter blast 1. I can equip the shield first, and then I call it out. I can retire itself and then choose 1 card from arms from my hand or from my drop, and just armed it on my Vanguard. So yeah, so again, this is just for emergency purposes, that in case I don't get the spear on my first grade 3 turn. So if anything, I just really need to arm these 2 at the first and this one can help me to like speed up the process. So 4 of Samadhi, just in case. That's all my grade 1s. I only play 8 grade 1s for now. So the seconds, we'll go into the grade 4s. This will be the staples, which is Trick Moon. So you can see this is I will show you the SP version. 4 Trick Moons, definitely a staple. Do not play 3, do not play 2. I think play 4 of this is going to be very nice for this deck. do it's because like you can swing for very high numbers if you have trick moons at the back row, so it's quite nice. Alright, so what does this do and why is it so good and staple and very staple in Bavsargra decks? So the first skill is that when this unit is called to the back row center rearguard from your drop zone, you counter charge 1. So you have that part you have to remember, not on the left, right, on the center back row. And just boost when this unit boosts. Oh, okay, it's my bad. When this unit boosts the Vanguard, if your Vanguard is Sealed Blaze Maiden Bavsargra, for every arms you have that is armed on your Vanguard, this unit costs 10k. So 25k booster alongside with Bavsargra's 23 makes it 48. So it hits for high number as well, thanks to the skill, and it's not only just for the pressure on the Vanguard as well, because if you put it on the left and the right, it also gives you the 25k. So already one column is already a 25k when you have a trick moon boosting on your front row rearguards, so which is kind of scary, and you can hit for very high magic numbers with this one. So I think it's quite fun to play this card. Alright, so that aside, we're going to get into the triggers. So I'm gonna play like the 4 effect crits. So at the end of the Burning Flail Dragon, so at the end of the battle that this unit boosted, you move it to your soul and give one of your units plus 2k. So just for soul purposes, soul filling purposes, yeah, it's quite good. So 4 of the crits. I play 7 crits in total. So you have the Conduct Spark Dragon, so 7 crits. Crits are important. I don't really want to play. You can play 8 crits. I think it's okay. But I just play 7 crits. Because the next one I'll be playing is 4 draws. Just for the defense. For the draw power as well. So this one is going to be for when the skill is that if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this one is shield plus 5k, so it's a 10k shield, so it's quite nice. So you just don't have to waste another additional like 5k for something extra, but 10k is good enough. 4 draws. I don't play fronts in this deck. I think crits are more pressure than fronts, so yeah. So when I get to the heal triggers, so of course I play 2 of the Cure Flare Draco Kit. Cure Flare Draco Kit skills when this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle if your opponent's Vanguard. If your opponent's unit has a critical effect not by trigger, original critical is 2 or more, crits is 2 or more, by the card effects, not from trigger effects, this unit gets a 15k shield, so 25k shield in general. There's also the anti-restand. This one is anti-crit. There's also the anti-restand as well. If the attacking unit attacks 2 or more, that gets another 15k shield. You can play one of each, but I just play 2. And it kind of helped me like in some games, like such as Sarah Snow. Who else? Like some Eden, for example, kind of helped me with that. And 2 of the generic heals. If you want to play 4 generic heals, I think it's fine, but yeah, those are like the 15k base shield, so it's different from the usual 10k shield, 10k shield effects, the heal effect shields. So I only play like two normal heals and 2 of the effect heals. Yeah, so that's done for now. Over trigger, last but not least, is the over trigger, so it's very important. 1 million power. Okay, when you drive check, the skill this time, when you drive check this card, you choose one of your Vanguards and stand it. So again, very scary for Bavsargra because already Bavsargra is swinging for 23k 2 crit. So if you get the over trigger, if you drive check the over trigger, you can restand your Vanguard and probably like just pump the 100 million to your Vanguard and swing for like 100 billion 2k, 100 million 2 crit. Yeah, so very scary for Bavsargra as well. So play the Dragon Empire one, and also you have to make sure that and anytime that when you drive check or damage check the OT, you just have to draw 1 card and remove this card. So 1 OT is fine. Of course, it's 1 OT is fine because it's only once in you can only play 1 OT in 1 deck. So yeah, I think that's about like how this deck is supposed to go. So this will be the entirety of the Bavsargra deck the deck profile, like to showcase to you. what's the most important thing that you have to do highlights of this deck. So number one, when you have mulligans, you have to make sure there's like a grade 1 or grade 0 that you can discard, preferably if you have Trip Moon, or preferably if you have Samadhi in your you have Trip Moon or you have Samadhi in your drop zone first. So usually what I usually do with the mulligans is that I have to discard the grade 0s or the grade 1s, and then just to make sure that you can have like a grade 1 or grade 0 by the time to Spirit Call by Bavsargra skill by the time you arm. So not to mention that discards the shield, for example. So for example, if I go for like grade 1, if I want to write the grade 1, I have to discard one grade 1, for example, and then I write the grade 1, and then for the next turn I discard the shield, I write the grade 2, and then the grade 2 effect, I just choose one arms for my drop zone, bounce back to my hand, and then for the next grade 3 you can probably discard Trip Moon, and then you just write Bavsargra, and then you arm the Vanguard, and then either Trick Moon or Samadhi to Spirit Call. But if you have Trick Moon on your drop zone, you just call it, and then you just counter charge one, so it's quite nice as well. And this is the more or less the same thing, and then more or less what you're supposed to do. Then if you have Alshinia, you can call this one, counter blast one, and you call Samadhi from your drop zone and just Spirit Call it. And then if you do not have the spear, and if you have the probably the sword in your hand, because you can only play one order card in one turn. Let's say I already armed the shield already, because order cards, order cards you can only play once per turn. So if you have like the sword in your hand, you can try to the spear I think the spear, but I will give you the sword, for example. So if you have the sword in your hand or in your drop zone, you just can retire itself, then you choose one the sword, and then you just arm it, and there you go. You already have 2 arms already on Bavsargra. So yeah, but the best case is that you need to have the spear on your hand by the time you're in grade 3. Otherwise, if you have the sword in your hand and you have Samadhi, you can find a lot of ways for Bavsargra to get the grade 3, to have the 2 arms already by the time you're riding on your first grade 3. So yeah, any other than that, I think there's also some of the True Travis retiring, quite nice. Other than that, I can also provide to you some alternatives to some of my builds as well. So first things first, you can play this card, Idam. So Idam skill that when this unit attacks, for every arm card, it has this unit plus 5k, so 20k attacker, which is probably better than the way consistent than our Shinya or any of the grade 2s I'm playing, because it's already confirmed you have 20k attacker on when it attacks. So this is fine. So probably you can play 4 or play 3. So yeah, I didn't play it in this deck, so you can see why. You can also play Sealed Blaze Dragon Samsara. So Samsara is a continuous effect that activates when depending on whatever arms. So if you have right arm, this unit plus 5k, so which is a 13k booster and a 13k attacker. And if it has a left arm DT, so you can intercept, which means that I can intercept from the front row as well. So quite nice. So you can Spirit Call from card effects like Alshinia, Bavsargra, call it to the front row, and probably you can use it for defense if you do not have like a grade 2 for like intercepts and whatnot. And then the last card of all is Silent Crow. So Silent Crow skill is that when this unit is called by a card's ability to the rearguard circle, so not normal calling, by card's ability, this unit gets 5k. So yeah, only a 5k attacker and booster for one turn as well. But the good thing about this card is that it's once per turn. When your same opponent's rearguard in the same column in this unit is just retired, counter blast 1, you draw 1 card, and it's once per turn. Again, it's very optional that you can put this in Bavsargra. I see some deck builds did play Silent Crow, but I just want, again, counter blast is quite heavy in this deck, so I would not play this card unless you want to for the draw power purposes. So yeah. So that's probably some of the alternatives I can give it to you to present to you, and yeah. Other than that, I think that's all for my deck profile. If if you do fancy to get Bavsargra, I think it's also a fun deck to play with, fun around, have fun with it. I personally really enjoyed playing this deck as well, so it's quite good. I won't say it's meta-ish, but it's already good enough on its own. So yeah, it's very scary to swing 2 crits and retire. That was good, excuse me, and we're already retiring. So I think that's all for explanations for as to how this deck operates and how this deck's playstyle is supposed to be. So yeah, other than that, I think I do not have anything else to comment for this deck already, so I think that we will have to conclude for my deck profile. So if you do enjoy today's video of my Bavsargra deck profile, please do like, subscribe, and do comment about what you feel about this deck. If you want to get yourself this deck, go ahead, it's really fun. So yeah, this has been Professor 095 signing out. See you.